money back into your community. Town Square Media South Jersey proudly puts a spotlight on local businesses.
Smokers Haven. Visit smokershavennj.com for a full line of fine tobacco and accessories. Dr. Lyle M. Back. For everything from skincare to cosmetic surgery, go to ilovelylback.com. Progressive Fence and Railing. Whether it's a durable fence or railing, a stylish deck, a beautiful awning, or a serene gazebo, visit progressivefenceandrail.com. And Ambient Comfort Heating and Cooling Professionals. AmbientComfortNJ.com. Town Square Media South Jersey thanks you for supporting your local businesses like Smokers Haven in Northfield, Dr. Lyle M. Back in Cherry Hill, Progressive Fence and Railing in Egg Harbor Township, and Ambient Comfort Heating and Cooling in Vineland.
Home of the Philadelphia Eagles.
They've got him! It's a sack!
Sixers.
Oh, baby!
And Flyers. 97.3 ESPN, WENJ, WENJ HD, Millville, Atlantic City, a Town Square media station serving all of South Jersey. This is Game Night with Josh Hinnett on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app. Now live from inside the Ocean Casino Resort Studio, here's Josh Hinnett.
Josh Hinnett here on a Hump Day Wednesday edition of Game Night on 97.3 ESPN. What a wild last 36 hours of sports it has been. Phillies lose last night, although half the world couldn't see it, but they won today. We'll touch on that. Plus, we'll get into the aftermath of the Sixers and Flyers nights last night. Sixers win, and other opponents of theirs lose. They're fighting with basically multiple teams right now for playoff seeding. It's them, it's the Magic, it's the Cavs, it's the Heat, it's the Pacers. And there's some movement going on right now in the standings. Plus, the Flyers have basically signed, sealed, and delivered the end of their season. They are on life support right now, to say the least, for their season. And of course, we have the announcement of who the Eagles will play in Sao Paulo, Brazil. And the Masters is this. We're going to try to cram it all in here on Game Night on 97.3 ESPN FM and a 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Seattle. Here's the rundown lineup for today. Dave Weinberg joins coming up at 6:15. Touch more on the Eagles and the Phillies. Plus, Bob Herrig, you've heard him on the show before, covers golf for many years previously with ESPN, now with Sports Illustrated, has a new book about Tiger Woods out called Driven. We'll touch base with him about the Masters as Tiger Woods looks to make the cut this week, and all the reports from the Masters that Tiger Woods is in great shape. He's playing very well, but will that translate onto the course? We'll get Bob Herrick's perspective on the Masters, who should be the favorites, and more here on 97.3 ESPN. But first, I want to touch on first the Phillies because they just played a couple hours ago, and then we'll get to the Sixers and the Flyers, because I thought today's win was a very interesting win for a couple of reasons. One, the Phillies did not go out there and play like a great hitting baseball team. They had some nice base hits. They made some okay contact, but a comment that they made last night on the post-game show that is still kind of ringing in my mind as I watched the Phillies today was they are not making strong contact. They are not, really making great contact consistently. This is a lineup that is full of guys who are either sluggers or contact hitters, and almost nobody is making great contact right now. When you have guys like Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper, you're expecting some big bombing base hits into the gap or home runs. When you see guys like a Trey Turner, you're expecting him to hit his career average, 295, right? When you're looking at a guy like Alec Boehm, you're expecting doubles and RBIs. You look at some of the other guys, Bryson Stott, JT Realmuto, contact hitters, Brandon Marsh, a guy who's got the ability to drive the ball into the gap as well. This is a lineup that was built to be basically one of the biggest threats in all of baseball as an offense. You could make the argument that on paper, the Phillies should have the third best lineup in all of baseball. But instead, you have a team that struggled to score runs today. The good news is this is the second straight series they have won. And they come out of this road trip to Washington and to St. Louis winning 4 out of 6. So it's not all doom and gloom. It's not all negative. But Zach Wheeler gave you a quality start last night, and you couldn't win the game because you couldn't score a run. Christopher Sanchez gave you a serviceable start, but you lost 3-2 on Sunday. Those are 2 games that you could have won, but you didn't because your offense is still incredibly inconsistent. And it goes back to what is going on with these guys' approach. Why are they not making solid contact? Why is Trey Turner going 0 for? Why is Bryce Harper going 0 for? It's one thing if you go 1 for 4 or 2 for 5 or even 1 for 5. Trey Turner, Bryce Harper. Neither one of them had a hit today. And Bohm, Marsh, Castellanos, Stott, and Rojas combined for 5 hits. And Castellanos got the weakest RBI of the season with that dribbler up the right side through the hole. Don't get it twisted. The Phillies won the game today, which is the positive. But they're going to keep winning moving forward. The offense needs to wake up. The offense needs to get their head out of the sand and stop playing like a team that was built to win with their bats. This team was not built to win with their pitching. Zach Wheeler and Aaron Nola are 2 of the top 20 pitchers in baseball right now. But the batting lineup is supposed to be even better than that. You got a guy building a future Hall of Fame resume in Bryce Harper. You got one of the best sluggers in the game in Kyle Schwarber. One of the best batting average guys in Trey Turner. Nick Castellanos give $100 million not to just get a dribbler up the right side. CeCe Ramuta, remember he was the best catcher in baseball? Alec Bohm was one of this team's best RBI men last year. And Bryson Stott is supposed to take a step forward this year. And right now, the only guy who's really giving you much consistently is Brandon Marsh. That's a problem. Because Brandon Marsh wasn't any of the guys I just named. You can't have one guy being the man stepping up for you. You need more than that. In the St. Louis series, in 3 games, the Phillies scored a total of 9 runs over 4 games. 5 on Monday, none on Tuesday, 4 today. 9 is not enough. Averaging 3 runs a game is not good enough. If you're not at least averaging 4 runs a game, then there's something wrong. And you're not giving all these guys money offensively for this. Now, there is other good news. 76ers win last night, but even more importantly, somebody lost. That's right. The Sixers have to play the Orlando Magic on Friday, and the Magic lost last night as well. So now the 76ers are a game and a half behind the Magic. They are a game and a half behind both the Magic and the Cavs and a game behind the Pacers. They have a chance if they can win out to put themselves out of the play-in tournament and get that first week off. And Joel Embiid had one of those games last night that makes you remember what it was like to have the league MVP out there. He had a great game last night. The supporting cast really stepped up. Buddy Hield showed out. Tobias Harris was solid in his return. This is a good basketball team, a very good basketball team. And with Giannis getting injured for the Bucks, with the Cavs winning only 3 of their last 10 games, with the New York Knicks trying to stay in the top 4 slots, and with the Magic and the Pacers having their own issues down the stretch, the Sixers might be the hot team coming in the postseason. And if that's the case, This might be a fun ride for the 76ers this season. Jeff from Ocean, I'll get to your text a little bit later this hour, 609-403-0973. Your DMs into 973 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Seattle. More Phillies and Eagles talk coming up next with Dave Weinberg, 973 ESPN sports columnist. Don't forget Bob Herrig, golf New York Times best-selling author, golf beat writer for Sports Illustrated, which is coming up later this hour as well here on 973 ESPN. Josh Hennig hanging out with you on a Wednesday night.
Wake up weekday mornings with Unsportsmanlike with Evan Cohen, Chris Canty, and Michelle Small.
Adam Schefter. He joins us each and every week.
I had somebody yesterday text me, Mike Trout, hey, could the Eagles trade for Micah Parsons? Mike, go back to playing baseball. No, that's not happening. Come on, let's stop that. But the Cowboys are not trading Micah Parsons. Come on.
Did you say that Mike Trout texted you that?
Every day, football play.
Unsportsmanlike with Evan Cohen, Chris Canty, and Michelle Smallman on 97.3 ESPN.
By popular demand, it's Matt Black Kias 2 for $222 all month long until they're gone. 2 new Kias for $222, but only while supplies last. Get a brand new 2024 Kia Forte LXS for just $111 per month lease with 0 security deposits and just $39.95 due at signing. With a price like that, why not get 2 for $222? That's a brand new Kia Forte for $111 per month, or drive home 2 for $222. Even get 0% APR for 48 months, or $7,500 cash back on any new 2024 Kia EV9. Plus, if you have a job clearing $450 per week, we want to get you approved today.
It's gotta be a Matt Black Kia.
With approved credit, APR, or cash back on 2024 EV9. Not all will qualify. Credit may affect down payments. Offers can't be combined. Go to mattblackkianj.com for complete details, or 888-505-6670. Price includes all costs to be paid by consumer, except for licensing, registration, and taxes through KMF. 24 months, $111 per month, 10,000 miles per year. Rebates and incentives to dealer. Expires 5/4/24. Matt Black Kia, 6211 Black Horse Pike, Harbor Township, and on Route 37 in Toms River.
Every business faces challenges, but complicated, expensive, and uncertain shipping shouldn't be one of them. With USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service, you can avoid all the noise. No more unexpected surcharges, hidden fees, or complex rate structures. It's just easy, cost-effective, and dependable shipping. Tune your business's frequency to success and turn shipping to your advantage. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
Timmy, everybody. Great job. Next up, we have Samantha.
10 times better performance can make a big difference. Castrol Edge Motor Oil gives your engine 10 times better high-temperature performance. Castrol Edge, better oil for maximum performance. Now through April 23rd, get a $15 gift card when you buy 5 or more quarts of Edge or Edge High Mileage Full Synthetic, only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Claim based on Sequence 3H test versus API SP test limits.
The good folks at Wendy's have a revolutionary new product for you. Introducing the new Orange Dreamsicle Frosty. It's like a time machine that takes you all the way back to now, the year 2024. It's the classic creamy, orangey flavor you remember. Dare I say, it's new-timey. It's the flavor you grew up with, just all grown up. Head over to your local Wendy's establishment and get yours while supplies last. The new Orange Dreamsicle Frosty. Here for the now, for now.
Limited time only. Participating Wendy's.
Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Brakes? We can save you 15% on that. We have OE quality Duralast brake pads and rotors in stock, ready for pickup or delivery. We also have calipers, brake fluid, tools, and anything else you'll need to do the job right. When you get Duralast pads and rotors together, you'll save 15%. It's just part of what makes us America's #1 brakes destination.
Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Why do so many dogs suffer from weight issues, skin problems, messy poops, and low energy? It could be the popular dog food you put in their bowl each day.
Cody was sleeping a lot, wasn't playing.
She was chicken moving around. Dry kibble just wasn't cutting it.
That's why, after more than 45 years of experience of helping dogs make complete health turnarounds, veterinarian Dr. Marty created Nature's Blend. It's a freeze-dried raw dog food made with wholesome ingredients like premium meats, seeds, vegetables, and fruit. And once dog parents switch their pups to Nature's Blend, the results can be astounding.
She's got her energy back. She's running around like she did like 5 years ago.
Miraculously, she's just feeling all around better. She's like a new dog. Thank you, Dr. Marty.
Get your dog started today and save up to 54% off Nature's Blend. Plus, receive a free pack of our best-selling beef liver dog treats. Go to drmartypets.com/deal or text DEAL. to 511-511. Text DEAL to 511-511. All dogs are unique. Your dog's results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply.
Hear that? It's the gentle sound of a waterfall on your hike. If you were here, you'd take a deep breath of fresh air if you weren't so winded. But you're not here, because your self-care happens out on the road, riding your motorcycle protected by Progressive. And the bugs you wipe from your headlights are all the nature you need. So if you ride, see if you could save with Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Get an online quote in as little as 3 minutes, all from the great indoors. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Are you or a loved one living with a disability in the Garden State? If so, NJ Able is here to help. This special tax advantage savings account lets those with disabilities save for qualified expenses without impacting SSI and Medicaid eligibility. NJ Able makes it simple to both save money and grow your savings by investing without having to give up important benefits you rely on. NJ Able can also be used to help with housing, education, transportation, food, and so much more. To learn more, visit us at nj.savewithable.com. A message from the New Jersey Department of Human Services.
This is Game Night with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
Check back on the text board right now at 609-403-0973, where we chat with Dave Weinberg. Extra point columns over at 97.3ESPN.com. Also to come, Bob Herrick, who wrote the book Drive on the 5-year anniversary of Tiger Woods Masters. We're going to talk with Bob about Tiger Woods' legacy in the 2024 Masters. But first on the text board, Jeff in Ocean City chimes in at 609-403-0973. Jeff says, if Embiid is healthy for every playoff game, I'm excited to see how far the Sixers can go. By the way, Eagle fans got robbed seeing Green Bay at the Link this year. That's from Jeff in Ocean City. Well, two different issues there, Jeff. First with the Sixers, I think that it's interesting you brought up about Embiid being healthy, because that is the biggest key to all of this is if Joel Embiid is healthy, if Joel Embiid can go out there and do what he does best, then he is dominant. He can go out there and help win you a championship. But like you said, the key is him being healthy. For the Eagles part, and we'll ask Dave Weinberg here, extra point columns over at 97.3 ESPN.com. Eagles playing in Brazil. They have only Dave joining us right now on 97.3 ESPN. Dave, welcome in. How you doing today?
I'm doing well, Josh. How are you? I'm at my grandson's machine pitch baseball game.
Why does it need to be
opener.
machine pitch?
Because they're 8 years old. And you can't have an 8 year. You can't, well, who else is going to pitch? You can have an 8-year-old try to throw the ball. It's going to take all day.
I remember when I was younger, it was T-ball, but okay.
No, this is the level up from T-ball. You play T-ball and then you play this, then you play Little League.
I missed that step, so I guess
it's relatively new. Used to be coach pitch, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
Now there's a pitching machine apparently.
I was just gonna make a joke about I wasn't a good baseball player, but okay.
It's all new to me. I don't know.
So Dave, what else is new is the Eagles are gonna play the Green Bay Packers Friday to start the NFL season in Brazil. How do you feel about the Eagles Packers in Brazil?
I think that's pretty neat actually to be the first team to play there. I doubt if my paper would have paid for it, but it's it's kind of cool for fans to get experience it. From what I understand, they're not. Are they losing a home game? I mean, they would have been their 9th home game, I guess, right? So
right. Yeah. So the idea is that the league is using that extra home game and using that for the teams to go international, so they don't lose an actual home game.
I gotcha. Well, then, yeah, I don't have a problem with it. Then, I mean, I know there's some Eagles fans are upset because they season ticket holders in particular, but I think it's kind of a neat experience. I think it would be kind of cool to go over there and see it.
What I think is interesting is why Brazil. Like I feel like it's such a, because I remember. I mean, this might have been what the late '90s, early 2000s when they went to Japan. Remember that when they had the preseason games in Japan, and it's like, did whatever happened to go into Asia? Like, did we just bail on football in Asia? Like, it's just so random.
Yeah, maybe it just didn't take off the way they wanted. Maybe the numbers were so bad. I guess they figured they'd branch out somewhere else. I don't know.
And by the way,
interesting. I don't know.
By the way, Dave, why has no one ever said, let's go to Alaska? Alaska's part of the 50 states. Why don't we ever go to Alaska and have a football game? Like, that's America.
Yeah, why not Hawaii? I mean, you don't have the Pro Bowl there anymore. You have a stadium, so why not just use that?
You know, Alaska's a beautiful place to go in like August and September when it's not cold yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yep, you should petition the league.
Well, you know, I would tell the league the first reason why they should hire me is because I would cost them less than Roger Goodell. So
there you go.
I would save them a lot of money. But Dave, big picture on the Eagles, I want to ask you because Fletcher Cox, he announced he had his presser retirement yesterday. And
Right.
one of the things he talked about the presser was he said is that, you know, you as an athlete have to know when to retire. And for a lot of people who are conjecturing why did Fletcher want to retire, Dave, he really made it sound like he was just like, I want to be done. I wanted to be not playing football anymore. Do you buy that?
I do. Yeah. Too many athletes don't have that kind of attitude. Too many hold on, a year or too long, and or it's even two, and that tends to diminish what they accomplish at points. So I give Fletcher credit. I mean, if he evidently didn't want to play for any other team. Maybe there was some other team he could have signed with and played for. But yeah, I give him credit for willing to step away at the top of his game. Not the top, but close to the top. When it's better to walk away too soon than to walk away too late.
Any concerns about the Eagles' D line heading in the next year without him?
Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean, when you see they have all the talent, but Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter have yet to prove themselves. I mean, Jalen Carter, I guess, hit the rookie wall, and Jalen Davis hit the rookie wall for a second straight year. I'm not quite sure how that works, but yeah. So I think there's bound to be concern for the interior in particular because I mean those two guys have the potential to step up, and I guess maybe Fletcher and the other guys are confident they can do that, but they didn't show it last year too much. At least on a consistent basis.
Not on a consistent basis. But, you know, the other side of this is, you know, you mentioned about how, you know, the defense, what they did last year, well, a different defensive coordinator last year, too. They had two defensive coordinators last year. So how much do you think Vic Fangio is going to impact some of that conversation?
Yeah, I would think he would. Yeah, I mean, he's the veteran guy, been around, and everybody seems to be raving about his system and his way of doing things. So maybe he'll get more out of those guys. I mean, I would think he would. And I forgot to mention Milton Williams. I'm a big Milton Williams guy. He had a pretty nice year, I thought. And he deserves a spot in that rotation, definitely. So yeah, hopefully Vic will find the right group of guys and the right way to use them, and they'll have some success this year.
Before we move on for the Eagles, Dave, you covered the Eagles for many years. What was your favorite Fletcher Cox memory?
Oh, boy. Fletcher Cox memory. I don't know that one kind of like sticks out. I mean, he was not one of those guys who had I think he did score a touchdown, if I'm not mistaken. I think, or maybe two. If that's the case,
I remember at least one defensively. Yeah.
Yeah, I would go with that. I mean, but otherwise, it's kind of like he had a great career, but not like 4 sacks in a game or scored in the Super Bowl or something like that. It's kind of difficult to remember like one single outstanding moment. He was just a really good player who consistently delivered almost every year for them, and I guess that's what he should be known for.
Dave Weinberg joining us, Extra Point Columns over at 97.3 ESPN.com. Join us each week for a Weinberg Wednesday here on 97.3 ESPN. Dave, the Phillies won today, which is the good news. The bad news is I still have it ringing in my mind what they said last night after the loss on the postgame show, which is that the Phillies are not making solid contact. They're not making great contact consistently. How concerned are you that it's another year with the offense starting out slowly?
You should be worried, I think. The lineup on paper and the proverbial paper is supposed to be great, and you're supposed to be scoring 10 runs a game or what have you. But yeah, they're not hitting the ball well, and everybody raves about the hitting coach and all this, and tinkering with the lineup, and nothing seems to be working. And yeah, I mean, I'm sure they'll get hot at some point, but right now I think it is a reason to be concerned.
who is the most concerning for you? Because to me, I know everyone
Nick
points to Nick
Castellanos.
Castellanos.
Nick
Okay.
Castellanos, yeah.
I
Or
just
maybe Trey Turner too. I don't know.
Trey Turner's weird because one game he'll go 3 for 4, and the next game he'll go 0 for 4. So it's like so bizarre
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah. I mean, he's certainly such a talented player that you don't. I mean, the way he turned it on at the end of last year, midway point, I guess you have to figure he would do it again. But I'm a little surprised that he would get off to a slow start for the second straight year. Trey Turner, I'm
Yeah,
talking
it's
about.
like if you're Dave, back in the day, when those of us who knew the world for the internet looked at the back of a bubblegum card, right? And we would
Right.
see a guy as a career in 295 batting average, your mind says, oh, the guy's going to hit like 290 to 300 this year, every year, right? And Trey Turner does not look like a guy whose batting average for his career is 295.
Yeah, true. Yeah, he does. I don't know what's wrong, but yeah, there was something. I mean, last year they blamed it on the baseball classic, I guess, that
Yep.
the aftermath of that. But there is no excuse this year.
Nope.
And I'm a little worried about that. Castellanos, though, I'm really puzzled by him. He was an all-star last year, and for him to, somebody maybe it was me, but somebody made a joke about, we've experienced an earthquake, we've experienced an eclipse. Now maybe Castellanos will hit a home run.
Listen, my theory is they just need to get rid of him. I would literally call the Colorado Rockies. I would trade him there. I would say, Colorado, let him bump up his stats in your house where the air is thin. You can trade him for something. We'll pay the salary for the rest of this year and give us some player in return so we can be done with him.
Okay. Well, who's playing right field then?
Put Marsh in right field.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I'm still not sold on Rojas. I know he had a good game yesterday. I don't know what he did today, but I'm just I think you're better off with Marsh in center and Whitfield and left, and I don't know who else in right, but
I mean, I'm not saying my answer is the best solution. I'm just
Merrifield. I'm sorry. I mean,
yeah, Merrifield.
Merrifield.
I'm looking at it at this point. It's like, what is Castellanos bringing to this team? Like, what is his value at this point?
Just bring a stupid haircut, but other than that, I don't know. Yeah, he's a really quirky guy too. I mean, just out there a little bit, and that's fine and good when you're hitting 320, but when you're hitting one something, that's not so it's not so cute,
Weinberg Wednesday, Dave Weinberg joining us here on Game Night on 97.3 ESPN. What is a tradition unlike any other, Dave, is you and I talking about the Masters, which is this weekend. I will have Bob Harry joining me coming up in about 14 minutes. And I want to touch on the Masters with you, Dave, because you and I always pick golfers that we like each and every year. So who are the Dave Weinberg? I like these guys this year for the Masters.
Well, Scotty Scheffler's automatic. I mean, he's just on another planet right now. So
right.
I think he's the odds-on favorite. I mean, John Rahm seems to be getting a lot of attention, rightfully so, for being a defending champ. But coming over from Live, I think he's dealt with a lot of pressure and stuff, and I'm not sure he's quite there. I bet on 5 guys like I always do, and I bet $20 each on Scotty Scheffler, Xander Schauffele, Brooks Koepka, Siwoo Kim. And then I took $10 each on Wyndham Clark and Phil Mickelson, just for sentimental reasons. But yeah, I mean he'll pay me the most money, but I don't expect him to contend. Although he was tied for second last year, but there's probably a half dozen to even maybe 10 guys that could win it. But those are the guys that I like.
The guy you didn't name that I like is Matsuyama.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was considering him. Yeah.
He's a guy who I feel like can maybe break through this year, and another guy that I think that, we've talked about in the past who hasn't done it yet. How about Tony Finau?
Yeah, true. Yeah, he's a very good golfer. Yeah, very good player. And yeah, he's one who's it seems to me like his well, there's nothing wrong with it, but he's very family oriented, very culture oriented. Spends a lot of time in that area. And I don't know. I guess he dedicates himself to golf. I shouldn't speak out of turn here, but I'm beginning to wonder if if the time might have passed him by. I mean, he's still a very good golfer, so I wouldn't be shocked if he won it. But Yeah, I guess if he'd be one of the 10 guys I would consider. That's for sure.
Okay, so you gave Mickelson as your long shot. My
Mhm.
long shot plus 500 for top 10.
Mhm.
Patrick Reed.
Yeah, nobody likes him, but he's a really good golfer. Yeah, I mean,
Exactly.
he's won it twice, I guess, right? Hasn't he? Or no?
He's won it once. Yeah, he won it once.
Once. Okay, okay, yeah, and he lives right down the street. I mean, he grew up
Right.
right down the street. So yeah, that's not out of the realm of possibility. I
And,
wouldn't
and
bet him because I don't like him, but yeah, I can see it.
well, plus 500, throw $10 on it. You're
Yeah,
doing
why not?
okay.
Yep, very true. Yep.
Do you think Tiger Woods will make the cut?
Mm, I don't even know if he'll make the tournament and the end of the tournament. I mean, again, everything depends on his health, and his health hasn't been good right now. He's pulled out of every tournament he's played, and I mean, if he's healthy, relatively healthy, yeah, I can see him making the cut. I don't expect him to contend, though. I just think his body's just too worn out and worn down.
It's weird because on one hand, a lot of guys are saying, "Oh, Woods looks great. He's hitting the old shots again in the practice rounds." But on the other hand, you have guys like Max Homa ripping him because he thinks it's all a facade and a mirage. So it's like, if Tiger Woods 20 years ago, no one ain't saying a negative thing about him, and in today's world, you got Max Homa ripping him of all people.
Well, that's surprising to me. I don't think anyone would, but yeah, it's yeah. I just think I just think his best days are way behind him, and it's great that he's going to give it a try. And who knows? He shocked the world a couple of years ago, so maybe he can do it again. But I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, 5 years ago he won that Masters with his son in his arms and all that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. It was a great moment, but he's just not the same guy anymore.
No, definitely not.
They actually sound like a golf clap in the background at your grandson.
Oh, yeah, you have to clap for the kids even when they strike out. Yeah, that's part
But
of
it
the deal.
sounded like a golf clap, which is like the patented like very soft clap. Like
That's yeah. Whenever a kid strikes out, everybody claps. They give.
Oh, is that what it is?
It's a new world. What can I say?
Good grief.
Yep. Oh, somebody hit the ball. I don't know if it was my grandson. No, I don't think so. He's
Good
got
for that kid.
Yeah, he got a single. Anthony got went 2 for 2 in a scrimmage yesterday. I don't know what he's doing here yet. I haven't been over there. I just got here, so we'll see.
Dave, before I let you go, I did want to ask you really quick, because we mentioned the Masters, mentioned the Phillies and the Eagles. For someone like you, this obviously is an interesting time of year. No NFL being played. Have you checked out any of the spring football league at all? Or are you completely out on that?
No, I've watched a little bit only because Wes Hills is playing in it. The kid from Wildwood plays for the Michigan Panthers. So I did check out, a few minutes of their game the other day. Otherwise, I'm not that interested.
All right.
How about you?
Curious. It's tough. I got so many other games to watch and track. It's like something got to get lost in lost in the shuffle.
Sure. Yeah, you got a lot to do. Yep, I'm the same way.
Yeah. Dave Weinberg joining us live from his grandson's. What is it? Fast pitch, machine pitch. What do we call it? Game?
Machine pitch, baseball. Yep. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
I just hope I'm not around when Skynet becomes self-aware and we all get destroyed. So
I don't know if you can see it, but it's riveting.
Yes. Dave, I appreciate you jumping on. Take care of yourself, okay?
My pleasure, Josh. Anytime. Thanks again as always. I'll talk to you next week.
Absolutely. Dave Weinberg joining us for a Weinberg Wednesday here on 97.3 ESPN. So Dave is much higher on some of the golfers than I am. Okay. You heard him talk about Xander Schauffele and John Rahm. Schauffele's a weird guy because it feels like he's always right there. He's always in the conversation, but he never fully breaks through. Another guy we can throw in there, Wyndham Clark won it last year, but guys who win it coming out of nowhere are usually not the guys who can go out there and win it again. Like when, dagnabbit, what was his name? Dustin Willett, right? When he won the Masters years ago, he didn't do almost anything else after that. Like, I feel like Wyndham Clark, he's got a great name for a golfer, but he's not a great golfer, right? So to me, that's why I gotta look somewhere else. And I've told you guys before in the past, if you please bet responsibly. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. But I'm a big believer in you should never throw money on winners. It's something that me and Dave Weinberg have always disagreed about. I'm a big believer in if you're going to wager, you got to wager something that's going to have the best odds of getting a return for you. So, for example, take Scotty Scheffler plus 105 to be in the top 5. And then everyone else just go top 10. Whether it's Roy McIlroy, John Rahm, Xander Schauffele, I mentioned Hideki Matsuyama. You heard Dave mention Brooks Koepka. If you want to throw a guy into there, like I mentioned Tony Finau. I know some people are very high on Justin Thomas and Cameron Smith coming in to this tournament. Max Homa, trash talking Tiger Woods. I don't know what that's all about. For those who didn't hear, apparently Max Homa isn't buying into any of the stuff Tiger's been doing to get ready for the tournament, right? We'll just leave it at that. So coming up next, talk more about the Masters. We'll be joined by Bob Harry, covers the golf, covers the PGA Tour and all of golf for Sports Illustrated. His new book, Drive, the 5-year anniversary of Tiger Woods' win at the Masters and Tiger Woods' legacy. We'll talk about that with him, as well as 2024 Masters Field. I'm Josh Hennig. This is Game Night on 97.3 ESPN.
It's Sixers Magic Friday night on 97.3 ESPN with the voice of the Sixers, Tom McGinnis, calling all the exciting play-by-play action.
Three of the lead is up and good. The Sixers lead. Carlton with the take. Batum with another clutch three.
Coverage begins at 7 p.m. It's Sixers basketball all season long on South Jersey's radio home for Philadelphia 76ers basketball.
Top play. He jammed it. KJ Martin stuffed the ball.
97.3 ESPN.
Champion Exteriors, Champion, the one you call first. Voted best of the best in Jersey Shores. For roofing and siding, windows and doors. 24-month financing, no payments, no interest. Your certified GAF elite contractors. Champion Dutch Exteriors.com. Champion Exteriors, Champion, the one you call first. Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? I think my battery's dead. With free battery testing and charging, we can help you get back on the road.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
So what if I need a new one? We have the right Duralast battery for you, only at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
And what about my old battery? We can recycle it right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
A healthy weight, more energy, and smooth, regular bowel movements. 3 things everyone strives for.
It's me, Chuck Norris. There's one really important thing we don't talk about enough. Our health. Achy joints, digestive issues, weight gain, and fatigue. We are told these are normal signs of aging. So working with a team of health experts, we came up with Morning Kick.
Morning Kick is a revolutionary formula combining 10 different supplements in one. Probiotics that help you lose weight, prebiotics for digestion, superfoods for muscles and joints, and several of the most powerful powerful anti-aging supplements on Earth. It'll help you feel youthful, energized, focused, and help manage stress.
Anybody can achieve great health regardless of their age.
Go to roundhouseprovisions.com. Use code SUPPORT or text SUPPORT to 511-511 and claim 40% off today.
Every purchase comes with our 90-day money-back guarantee.
Text SUPPORT to 511-511. Morning Kick. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
The good folks at Wendy's have a revolutionary new product for you. Introducing the new Orange Dreamsicle Frosty. It's like a time machine that takes you all the way back to now, the year 2024. It's the classic creamy, orangey flavor you remember. Dare I say, it's new-timey. It's the flavor you grew up with, just all grown up. Head over to your local Wendy's establishment and get yours while supplies last. The new Orange Dreamsicle Frosty. Here for the now, for now.
Limited time only at participating Wendy's.
Why do so many dogs suffer from weight issues, skin problems, messy poops, and low energy? It could be the popular dog food you put in their bowl each day.
Cody was sleeping a lot, wasn't playing.
She was very lethargic and moving around.
Dog kibble just wasn't cutting it.
That's why, after more than 45 years of experience of helping dogs make complete health turnarounds, veterinarian Dr. Marty created Nature's Blend. It's a freeze-dried raw dog food made with wholesome ingredients like premium meats, seeds, vegetables, and fruit. And once dog parents switch their pups to Nature's Blend, the results can be astounding.
She's got her energy back. She's running around like she did like 5 years ago.
Miraculously, she's just feeling all around better. She's like a new dog. Thank you, Dr. Marty.
Get your dog started today and save up to 54% off Nature's Blend. Plus, receive a free pack of our best-selling beef liver dog treats. Go to drmartypets.com/deal or text DEAL to 511-511. Text DEAL to 511-511. All dogs are unique. Your dog's results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, I got a question for you. You hate bending over to put on your shoes? Wish you should just put them on standing or sitting without ever having to touch them? If so, then I have the shoe for you. Introducing new hands-free Skechers Slip-ins. With new Skechers Slip-ins, you just step in and off you go. You don't even need to lace up. So how do Skechers Slip-ins work? Well, there's a special smooth comfort pillow in the heel that helps your foot slide right into place. So just step in them and go. Find new hands-free Skechers Slip-ins for the whole family at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Something good to know from First Bank of Sea Isle City. We have all of today's innovative banking products just like the big banks, but we offer something they can't. A personal community focus. Let's get you started with Bill Pay. You save time when you pay your bills online. It's fast, easy, and convenient. First Bank of Sea Isle City, a community bank that delivers more for you every day. Personal service, today's technology, from the people who truly care. Learn more at firstbankseaisle.com.
Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Now, more Game Night with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN and on the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
Let's do more Masters talk right now. Tiger Woods is back at the Masters. Bob Herrig is there covering it all. Of course, you know he's covered golf for a very long time. ESPN, Sports Illustrated now. And, of course, the new book is Drive, tapping into the 5-year anniversary of Tiger's 2019 Masters victory and looking at Tiger Woods' legacy in today's game. It'll be interesting as we talk with Bob. Bob, first of all, appreciate you jumping on. How you doing today?
I'm doing well, thanks. I appreciate you having me. Thank you.
I appreciate you coming back on the show. And what I thought was interesting is that because when we had you on about your last book, about Tiger and Phil versus this one, the last book was about kind of like the parallels in their lives and careers, whereas this one is more about more of the context of Woods' legacy. For you, what has been the most interesting part of writing about Tiger Woods' legacy?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, I think what I learned in trying to research this, the original thought was just to do a deep dive on the 2019 Masters win, which was epic, obviously. All that he had gone through, the injuries, the back problems, the surgeries, and he comes back and he 2 years to the day almost after he has his spinal fusion surgery, he wins the Masters. But as I explored this and got into it, I started to realize this is Tiger's career. It's not just about one tournament having this resiliency or this drive, frankly, the title of the book. It's been his whole career. He's incredibly skilled, obviously. He's got great talent. Tiger was going to win a lot on ability alone. But there's been plenty of players or people in sports who have great ability and great talent that they squander, because they don't work at it enough. And Tiger always worked at it. And the book is basically a bunch of those examples, a cut streak of 142, which is just ridiculous. Nobody's even got halfway to that. Winning a U.S. Open on one leg as he did in 2008, winning the Masters as he did, coming back from the car crash even from 3 years ago. The fact that he's played in 2 Masters and made the cut after all he went through with that, it's just sort of another sign of his resiliency. He doesn't need to be doing this. He doesn't have anything to prove, but yet he's got a lot of pride, and he doesn't want it to end that way, and so he wants to try. So that's sort of what I learned. Tiger, we all know he was a great golfer, a great talent, amazing ball striker, but he's got a willpower that's probably unmatched.
I think the willpower part is so important, Bob, because one of the stories in the book that stood out to me so far, I'm a few chapters in, was the story how his caddy Stevie Williams is trying to say, trying to talk to him, and he keeps saying, bleep you, Stevie, bleep you, basically telling him to stop telling him what to do. And it's just, this guy when he was at his best, he was so focused on winning. It didn't matter about the stress fractures. It didn't matter about if he had a bad round or a bad hole. Like, he had this driven belief that he was going to do something, and not his caddy. Nobody could tell him otherwise.
Tiger didn't let negative things or bad things get in his way. He didn't let him get it down for long. Tiger might hit a bad shot and you'd hear a bad word come out of his mouth, or he might slam a club, but he got it out of his system and he focused on the next one. That example you gave about Steve Williams for the U.S. Open, his doctors had told him that he needed to be on crutches for 6 weeks. He had hairline fractures in his tibia. He actually did that while rehabbing from what was supposed to be a minor knee surgery, and in which they discovered, his ACL was completely shot. And so he was only going to play the U.S. Open and then actually he was going to try to play the rest of the majors in 2008 and then have the surgery and be ready for the Masters in 2009. Well, in trying to rehab, he injured himself even worse. So now all he can do is maybe try to play the U.S. Open, which he was told not to do. And he did it anyway, and he won. There's other more subtle examples. When he shot 40 for his first 9 holes of the Masters in 97, that could destroy a person, lose confidence. He's hyped up. He's 21 years old. All eyes are on him. People think he's got a great chance, even though he had never played in the Masters as a pro. And he shoots 40 for his first 9 holes. That would shake most people. You might just try to hang on and just get it in and don't make it worse. What did Tiger do? He went out and shot 30 on the back, 6 under on the back. He shot 70 that day and ended up going on to win that tournament by 12. It's just sort of the hallmark of his career, all these different exploits.
The book is Drive, The Lasting Legacy of Tiger Woods. We're joined by Bob Herrick here on Game Night on 97.3 ESPN. Bob, looking ahead to right now, after writing the book and looking at who Tiger Woods is right now in 2024, 5 years since that epic Masters win, who is he today versus who was he 5 years ago?
Well, today he's much more diminished, unfortunately, due to that car crash. 5 years ago when he won, there was actually kind of a fleeting moment or two or a couple of months where there was a thought that maybe he could try to win more majors, but even that summer, he started to have some issues again, his back would act up. He ended up having another knee surgery, an arthroscopic procedure in August of that year. And he somehow came from that and won the Zozo Championship in Japan. That was his last win, late in 2019. Today he's become a big mover and shaker with the PGA Tour. He's got a spot on the policy board as a player director. He's very heavily involved in these negotiations to see where the game goes with the Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia. He's been outspoken before this about he wasn't a big fan of live golf. And he's still got his foundation, which is very, very important to him. And yet he's still trying to play a little bit. He sort of hinted yesterday that the Masters would be the first of maybe playing the rest of the majors. They're a month apart, basically. He wants to play them all. If he could pull that off, that would be great. If there can be some improvement in his physical being, maybe next year he could try to add a couple more, because I really think he needs to play a little bit more to be competitive.
Bob, we can touch a little bit on the Masters aside from just Tiger. I want to ask you about how is the weather situation impacting everything down there? Because obviously for the average fan, they may not be in Georgia, so they don't know about the weather situation down there.
Yeah, it doesn't look good right now for tomorrow. It's the only bad day in the forecast, but there's supposed to be some pretty bad storms. And they've already announced that they're going to delay, not the starting times yet, but they've delayed the opening of the course to spectators. I think what's happened is they don't want to let them in and then have them come out. So they're going to wait on that. We're going to get an update overnight. I wouldn't be surprised if tee times got delayed if it starts raining overnight. Tomorrow's a bad day, unfortunately. It just doesn't look like it's going to clear out. There's going to be a lot of wind, storms. Now, the wind could be a good thing in that if there's a lot of rain, the wind will help dry it out. Mm-hmm. And the weekend's supposed to be great. So we could have a very, very nice weekend of golf, but we're going to have kind of a disjointed start to the tournament. I don't know how much golf they'll play tomorrow. They're going to want to play some because they don't want to have 36 holes in one day.
Talking with Sports Illustrated golf writer Bob Herrig here on Game Night on 97.3 ESPN. Bob, for those, maybe they're not like diehard golf fans, talk about what does a delayed start or a rainstorm coming through, how does that impact, I should say, a course like Augusta?
Well, this one can withstand more than most, because they have a drainage system that allows them to suck the water out, to get the moisture out. It's called sub-air. And so they can pull that water out of the greens and out of the fairways. It'll still be soft, but it won't be saturated. And if there's no humidity, then that's even better. Wind and lack of humidity will help dry it out quickly. But if you an inch and a half to 2 inches of rain, which is what's been sort of predicted, is certainly something they can easily overcome. They won't necessarily have standing water, which is what you don't want. You can't have standing water in the fairways, and because you can't play the ball properly. You can't take a drop, in the right spot. So the hope is it's not a lot of rain. It sounds like this is more of a storm event. Like it could be dangerous. In fact, if there's wind and stuff, trees could come down or structures or what have you. So that's what I think they're just as worried about that as they are too much water on the course.
Of the big names on this course this weekend, the Rory McIlroys, the Brooks Koepkas, guys who have won the tournament, and like last year, Wyndham Clark or a Patrick Reed a couple of years ago. Of those group of guys, who are you keeping the closest eye on, Bob?
I'm kind of curious about Victor Hovland.
Okay.
Who had a great year last year and has really not done anything this year. Has he found anything here lately? I mean, he kind of started messing around with his swing, and he was great at the end of last year. He's great in the Ryder Cup. I think he was 7th at the Masters last year. He was in the last group at the PGA. He's done well in majors. He's sort of like, this would have been the year to break through. He won 3 times last year, the last 2 tour events, and then has that great Ryder Cup for Europe. And now all of a sudden he's kind of fallen off. And so I'm really kind of curious how he does. I mean, there's other guys too. Hideki Matsuyama is not getting a whole lot of attention. And he won the Masters 3 years ago, and he won Riviera this year by shooting 62 in the final round. So, Scotty Scheffler's getting most of the attention. So is Rory. So is Tiger, obviously. But a guy like Matsuyama, who's won the Masters, is a world-class player, who had some injury issues last year, a little bit under the radar for someone who's so good.
It's funny you said that because Matsuyama is literally one of the names I mentioned before you came on, who I would pick for a top 10 finish in this tournament. So
yeah,
thanks for that hat tip, Bob. Appreciate you validating me there. But I did want to ask you about Scotty Scheffler before I let you go, Bob. You look at a guy like him, and the issue with him has been the consistency with the putting. Is that really the only Achilles heel for him at this point on a course like this, or is there something else to keep an eye on?
It's definitely that. It's the putting. I mean, the guy's ball striking has been off the charts for 2 years. And last year it was historically good. His scoring average was like the seventh best in PGA Tour history, and the best of anyone not named Tiger Woods. I mean, it's amazing how good he hit the ball. And even a few weeks ago when he won the Players, he had a neck problem on Friday. He had to have treatment on the course. They brought a trainer out there who was working on his neck. And his caddy said after the tournament that he almost withdrew. He didn't think he'd be able to play. And he won the tournament. We were asking Ted Scott, his caddy, well, how was he hitting it? He goes, he wasn't hitting it as good as he normally does. But, man, he still hit it great. A healthy Scotty Scheffler is going to be tough. I mean, he hits a lot of greens, and that's an important factor at Augusta National. It's a course where the winners typically lead the field or are close in greens in regulation. The question is, can he get the putts to go in? He's had issues on the greens. He found something here lately, new putter, different putter. He took the line off his ball to free him up, he said, so that he doesn't get focused on the roll of the ball. And he started making putts. If he putts just a little bit above average, he's going to be right there on Sunday.
Well, if Sky does struggle this weekend, you can always ask Bubba Watson if he talked to Bubba's daughter. I saw Bubba Watson's daughter putting. That's incredible. I mean, that young lady's got a future, man.
Exactly. We can all take some lessons.
Right, exactly. Bob Herrick's been my guest here. Of course, golf writer for Sports Illustrated. The new book is Drive, The Lasting Legacy of Tiger Woods. Just came out officially a couple of weeks ago. It's a great book. I'm already halfway through it, Bob. Great stuff again. I appreciate you jumping on today.
I appreciate you having me. Thanks so much.
Josh Hennick here on Game Night on 97.3 ESPN. Great stuff from Bob Herrick. Right now, it's time for you guys to qualify for the Eagles Draft Party Contest. Yes, when you hear that sounder, that means you have to be callers number 6 and 7 at 609-573-3776. 609-573-3776. Callers 6 and 7. You qualify for the Eagles Draft Party Contest. Thanks to Phillies Sports Trips, you can go to the Eagles Baltimore Ravens game this season, but you got to be a qualifier at 609-573-3776. And then if you're a qualifier, you must be present at Top Golf. Speaking of golf, located at Ocean Casino Resort in Atlantic City on April 25th for the Eagles Draft Party with Mike Gill and the Sports Bash here on 97.3 ESPN. So, caller 6 and 7, you are in. You call right now at 609-573-3776. I'm Josh Hennig. This is Game Night. I'll catch you tomorrow right here on 97.3 ESPN.
If you or someone you know needs help getting through a difficult time, start with NJ211. When you reach out to 211, we can connect you to help with housing, utilities, food, childcare, senior services, income support, healthcare, legal issues, and more. Help is available in over 150 languages, and the service is free, confidential, and available 24/7. Need help? Dial 211, text 898-211, or search nj211.org.